What does the maintenance look like for a packaged gas unit like this? This is the old style American Standard packaged gas unit, rectangular shape. I love these units. I'm going to show you how to check the heat exchanger, talk about maintenance, and then I'm going to take you to my parts room and show you some common parts that I keep in stock for this particular unit. I hate that these units are going out and they're being replaced because this is a very reliable unit, in my opinion. Let me know in your experience what your experience is with this particular brand and style of American Standard packaged gas. Let's go ahead and get started with today's video. You're watching HVAC Tips for Technicians. I'm Tad. Let's get started. Got a call from the customer. The customer is very concerned about carbon monoxide poisoning, so they wanted me to inspect the heat exchanger. So to get to the heat exchanger for this style unit, you're going to take all of the screws that are connecting the top panel to this particular unit off. And then once you get those screws out of the top panel, then you can just fold that panel back. It's easy when you have two people, but you can do it yourself if it's just you. And then on the heat exchanger, there's a bunch of rust, but there's no holes. See, bunch of rust. I always look beneath the first set and I look at this line, okay? You see that line? I'm always looking at that and I'm trying to find out if there's a hole. And there is no holes. So I'm going to let the customer know that, hey, there's no holes in the heat exchanger. It is very rusted, but it's going to get you by. You need to make sure that you have a carbon monoxide detector in your home. So I recommend a carbon monoxide detector. You can get those at Walmart. I tell them where to get them. We're also going to look at some other parts right here. So I got to take off these two panels in front, and then that panel, the electrical panel. Very reliable units. This is actually a dual fuel. You see, it's got a reversing valve, so it's a heat pump, and it's got gas backup. So this is a old style dual fuel. These are so nice. Common problems you have with these units: condenser fan motor goes bad, but it doesn't go bad like the new units motors where they only last 5 years. This one 10 years or more. I've replaced these when they were 20 years old. Inducer motors definitely go out. This one's already been replaced. You can tell because it's got new screws, but these rust out. The boards go bad sometimes, and there's a kit that you get for these units. Motors go bad, and this unit needs maintenance. It needs to have the indoor coil cleaned. This is the indoor coil, and that is the evaporator, and this is the outdoor coil, the condenser. Now let's take a look at the heat section and let's talk more. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the top back on. I'm going to show you it's pretty easy to put the top back on, even if it's just you, right? Super simple. But what you want to do is you want to make sure you unplug the disconnect. You want to take a couple screws out that hold this little fan cover on. Why? Because you got to reach down here and you got to put this plug in. See this plug? And I've actually left this plug loose and didn't put it back in. So make sure you plug it back in, okay? Well, you gonna go back in there, buddy? It doesn't want to. Oh, there it goes. Now, put this cover back on. All right, so we got these three panels off right here. And I always like to watch the flame light. So I take this cover off. That way I can see the burners. What we've got right here on this panel is a rollout switch. You can see right there, we've got our little fusible link. Whenever the flame is rolling out, it burns that. And then it disconnects the two wires that connect to it, right? It takes and opens that circuit. So if you ever find this burnt, that means the flame could be rolling out. If you ever see the flame roll out, that means the flame's rolling out. If you ever see the flames not traveling across the burners, that can mean the burners are dirty. What do? Take a steel brush, or you take some sandpaper. We got our gas valve here, and we got our inducer motor. This is a limit switch right here. See this? It opens at 190, and this is a part that we keep in stock. Be careful when you tighten it to tighten the two screws, because it's plastic, it'll crack. It's pretty easy to crack. This right here is the pressure switch. So whenever our inducer motor starts and it pulls a vacuum, then that negative pressure closes that switch. Here's our board, and looks like we got a defrost board right here because of course this is a heat pump. So let's go ahead and take and touch our red to our W1. All right, which is right here, because we want to test everything out. You know, when you go to check a heat exchanger, you want to check and actually make sure everything's working. I'm going to show you how to check across the limit switch and the pressure switch. So what do you want to do? Take it volts AC. All right. See that? All right. Looks like it's lit all the way across. We're going to check one lead to the ground. See that? All right, and then other lead down here. Check the fusible link first. What do we got? 28 volts. Let's check the other side. See, we're on the purple wire. Now we're going to go to the orange wire. 28 volts. So that switch is closed. Now let's go with the pressure switch. All right, this side 28, and then this side 28. That's closed. Now we're going to go to the limit switch down here. Take a look at the limit switch. Go to the bottom wire first. What do we got? 28 volts. Go to the top wire. All right, 28 volts. You just heard a click, and that's for the indoor motor. All right. So our indoor motor should be running. Here's our indoor motor wires. See this? We got a purple and a black. You see this? This is the common wire for the motor. This is the speed wire. All right? And these wires that connect to it run back to the board. This is basically on an empty terminal. This is the low speed. The black wire is the high speed. And up here, if you can see, we've got a relay, right? We got a relay on the left that controls our indoor fan coming on, and a relay on the right that controls our inducer motor coming on. So if your inducer motor's not running, you may have a relay on the board that's not closing. If your indoor motor's not coming on, you may have a relay on the board that's not closing. I'll show you the schematic. See, this means indoor motor. See that? Purple wire goes to B, black wire goes to C, and that black is the high speed, and it goes back to one side of the power. And that other side of the power, that's the red wire, goes to a set of normally open contacts, right? So that black wire always has power going to that side of the motor, right? And then when this side of the power that goes to that motor, the common, when that relay closes, that energizes the motor. So I just want to show you that. And then this says inducer, right? This is a normally open set of contacts, and this is for one side of the power that goes to the combustion fan motor. CFM, right? Just want to show you a little bit of schematic here. Now for maintenance, for this particular unit, I'm going to take that wire right there off of the flame sensor, and I'm going to take those two 1/4-inch screws out, and I'm going to take the flame sensor off. Or if you can clean it right there, it looks like it is a little dirty. See that? You see that on the end of that flame sensor? That's dirty. We need to get some sandpaper or some type of cloth to clean that. And then we'll take these 3 screws that hold the burners in place. We'll take those out and then take the burners out. We keep burners in stock. We keep rollout switches like this in stock. We keep those limit switches in stock. We keep pressure switches in stock. And that's what we keep in stock for this particular American Standard package unit. We also keep these inducer motors in stock. So, and I'm pretty sure we keep a couple of these boards in stock. And then capacitors, contactors, transformers, that's something you got to keep in stock. It's a 3-ton unit, 36,000 BTU, 2004, and this thing is still working. That is awesome. Taking those 3 screws out for the burners. 4 screws actually. Now you can see, take this out, and then you can take these burners out. It doesn't look too bad. Needs to be cleaned though. And then now you can get to the flame sensor, so we don't really have to take those screws out for that flame sensor, but we'll get that nice and shiny. All right, so I'm gonna get this flame sensor looking good. Make sure that everything's not hot. Make sure you wear gloves. Oh wow, there's a black widow hiding behind that screw there. All right, look at that. Look how beautiful that flame sensor looks now. See there? Told you I could do it. Now you just take this. Now look at this one right here. See that? And then this is the old one. And you can see a difference. So it doesn't take long to do some maintenance for a package unit, but you got to do it. And this keeps that track, the flame carryover track, clean, so that your burners all have a nice flame. And then your flame sensor detects the flame, sends a signal back to the board, and your unit works. So now, one thing you can do if it's not lighting well is you can take a little bitty Allen tool and you can stick it inside of these burners, right? I'm sorry, not burners, orifices. Take a look at the orifice. See that hole? That hole right there can become stopped up. Cobwebs. Spiders build cobwebs inside of these, like this spider right here. See that guy down there? It's hard to see. See? That guy right there? You gotta be careful. Watch where you put your fingers. So cleaning out the orifices is good. Also, cleaning off the igniter, that's a good idea. This spade just fell apart right here. I was going to put this back together, so I always make sure that I carry spades inside my service vehicle. So just going to put these back together and put a female spade. And then I've got my little crimping tool slash wire strippers. That's nice. Make sure you can't pull it off. It's nice and tight. You want to make sure that rollout switch is connected. You never want to bypass a safety. Never bypass a safety. All right, now that's connected. We can put these burners back in. And that was easy. Maintenance, it's about being preventative. If you see take the inducer motor off. If you see the inducer motor blades are falling apart or they're rusted, go ahead and get the customer a price. I'd rather go ahead and take care of it. That way they're not out of heat on the coldest day of the winter. Also, this tube right here for the pressure switch, take that off. Take a look inside the hole. Stick something in there. Make sure you clean it out, because that can become stopped up, and that's an easy service call. And you'll get 20 of those beginning of winter. So, and then to put the burners back in, just slide them right in there. Pretty easy. I'll take you to the parts room. I'll show you some parts. That way, if you've got these certain package units in your area, you'll know what to keep in stock. If you like the video so far, hit the like button, subscribe, smash that bell, ding, so you know what I'm doing. I got giveaways every month. I give away tools and I give away cash. I've got some really cool tools that I just got, and I'm going to be giving those away. I make sure that for all of my members, I make sure that I give you more than you give me. I want to make sure that I do that. I give you as much, if not more value than you provide for me. So I hope I'm doing a good job with that. And to all the winners of the giveaways, you're lucky. But hey, good luck to everybody. I hope everybody has a chance, if you're a member, to win something. If you got questions, definitely leave your questions in the comments. If you got advice, I love advice. And also, if you've got questions that can become content, please, if there's a video you want to see, let me know. And to those of you that have asked me questions and there's content that you want me to do, I am going to get to that. All right, I promise. So I'm a very busy guy. Now, got this back in here. If you don't know anything about making your own flame sensor or your own flame rod and being able to check a flame sensor, I've got a video on that. I'll put that down below. Also, gas heat training. This is just a video on gas heat maintenance, but I've got a video on gas heat training. It's very specific. It's about 30 minutes long, and I'll put that down in the link in the description for you as well. I'm going to put this back together, and we are going to go back to the parts room, check out some parts. Let's go. This is the ignition control board, right? And you can see right here, we've got a plug with about 9 wires, okay? Well, about 7. And they're labeled. And you see this orange wire that goes out? It's in series with the safeties, right? It says right here, TCO, temperature limit switch. FL, fusible link, that's the rollout switch. And then PS, pressure switch. So I just want to show you that, show you a little bit more of the schematic here. For the defrost control, we've got CBS and OBS. We've got coil bottom sensor, and then we've got outdoor sensor. So one sensor measures the coil temperature and one sensor measures the outdoor ambient sensor. If you don't know anything about defrost controls, I've got a video to learn more, and I'm going to put that down below as well for you. The parts room right now, and for that American Standard package gas unit, I keep this in stock. This is that temperature limit switch right here, and this is THT 2437. That's something I keep in stock. I also keep in stock these BNR 01078s, and that is the burners, right? I want to keep some of those new burners in stock. Also keep these fuses in stock, which they're not fuses, they're rollout switches, but it's a fusible link. And I want to keep those in stock. What else? Keep some gas valves in stock. I keep those boards in stock. And those boards have changed, so there's a harness that you have to get, and it's about $400 or $500, and that's really why it's important that you use or keep used parts off of these old package units that you get in, because if the parts that you have to get to replace those are super expensive and you're just trying to buy the customer some time until they replace the unit, maybe a good idea to salvage some of these parts from these older units. But this is the parts room. I've got a video specifically on parts, so I'll put that down below for you guys so you can go check it out. Also, pressure switches. I keep some pressure switches in stock. Hot surface igniters, igniters, keep those in stock. Go check out the full video on the parts video. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Hope you learned something. Let me know if you did learn something, what it was. If you don't have a question, let me know who you are. Let me know where you're from. Hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, smash the bell, ding, so you know what I'm doing. You've been watching HVAC Tips for Technicians. I'm Tad, and I'll keep you cool if you let me.